Welcome to the World United. Welcome to the World United.
Speaker is GP Walsh. GP is a spiritual teacher in the lineage of Ramanana Maharishi. With over 30 years teaching experience, he's versed in the many different spiritual traditions, including Buddhism and Christian mysticism. At the age of 19, on the verge of suicide, addicted to drugs, and at the end of his hope, GP had an extraordinary spiritual experience that was so penetrating that within a few months, his entire life had turned around. Nicknamed the Irreverent Sage, his wit, humor, depth of knowledge, and simplicity of presentation will bring you right to the door of your own transformation. So, GP, with that, please welcome.
Oh, so good to be here. So good. I wasn't sure I was going to make it. There's an echo. I am just like 15 minutes ago before Bruce started speaking, or Danny started speaking, I took possession of my apartment. There's nothing in it except me. And so I'm sitting on the floor right now to give my presentation on the world of spirituality. And Danny, you're a very hard act to follow. There's such a beautiful story, and it's so very, very touching. I have been in spirituality almost 50 now. From that time you mentioned at 19, which I don't have any. I don't have any enough time to go into the entire story. Suffice it to say, it was not on my vision board. This was not something I had intended on. As far as I was concerned, I was going to be a rock and roll drummer, and that was the track I was on. And so there was this really a divine intervention. That's the only way I can put it. Just this incredible opening, and then over the years, I investigated many different kinds of spiritual traditions and the like. And it just kept pointing me more and more inward, more and more away from the realm of thoughts and forms, and eventually into what is really the Hindu tradition of Advaita Vedanta, which goes all the way back to the Vedas, but through Shankara, and then Ramana Maharshi, his student Papaji, is also another student Gangaji. And it is simply the discovery, the means of self-inquiry for discovering who you are and who you were before any of the conditioning happened. And by that I mean all conditioning, including karma, all of it. At some point there was just you. All original equipment, nothing extra added, the pure absolute you. And that is the beautiful tradition of Advaita. It's also Zen, which is a very different way of approaching it. But the more I came to understand it, the more I saw it everywhere. In Sufism and Christian mysticism and Kabbalah. This mystic tradition has been just winding its way through all spiritual traditions for forever. And there's nothing mysterious about mystic. It's just a word that we use for knowing something directly, knowing something without arriving at that, not derived knowledge, and not relative knowledge, not the knowledge that is one thing knowing another, right? Which is very easy. In language, it's all very descriptive. It's all very, that's what language is. It's the description of one thing in terms of something else. So how do you describe yourself from your own perspective? Or another way of asking that question is, what do you look like from a distance of 0? If I ask people to hold an image of themselves, picture yourself in your mind, it will be somebody standing maybe about 5 feet away, which you look like in a mirror on a YouTube video or something, right? And then I point out something really, really phenomenal, and that is That image of you, you've never actually seen. You've seen it in a mirror, of course. You've seen pictures of you, your Kodak moments and all that kind of stuff. You know, many of these, the people here have videos on YouTube, so I'm sure you've seen your stuff on YouTube. But that's always how somebody else sees you. What do you look like from a distance of 0? It's such a penetrating question. For Ramana Maharshi, that boiled down to, well, who am I really? Right? Without thoughts, without the emotions, without sensations, without reference to associations or memories, without even your name, your gender, right? Your nationality or ethnicity. Put all of that aside. And then what's left? This is the essence of it, and it is so simple that we walk right by it all the time. When I ask you who you are, you'll describe a set of qualities or attributes and that sort of thing, right? But yes, but what about you? You know, when you go to a job interview, they look at your CV, right? Oh, you've done this and this. You went to this school. Oh, you have this degree. This is really good. And you had all these wonderful jobs. This is wonderful. They never then go and say, yeah, but who are you? Who are you before any conditioning took place? Before any of the programmed responses that we all got so used to? Before we got put into the little container by our family and our culture? Before that water got poured into the jar and the top put on? What was that? The shape of that water. So what I'd like to do is just lead everybody, I'd like to lead everybody in the whole world, but whoever else is listening, I'll take a subset of that, to do a simple little exercise. It's like a meditation, but it's a meditation that has no objective other than to turn within. So I'm going to invite you all to simply close your eyes and let yourself just sink into that simple sense of your own being. Now, the moment you close your eyes, we human beings gather 80% of the information that we experience during the day comes through our sight. So closing your eyes immediately has your attention begin to look someplace else in order to focus, because that's what attention does. And so it'll start looking to thoughts, emotions, sensations, the experiences that you're having. You can take a couple of breaths if you want to help bring your attention into the body. It's a very useful thing, just conscious, slow, deep. And just notice the effect it has on your body when you simply withdraw your attention back and simply watch it. Right? We have no agenda here. We have no intention. We're simply here to watch. You'll notice that the sensations of the body are going constantly. It's effortless. There's nothing you need to do to make them happen. Your thoughts are going. Emotions are there. There could be all sorts of energy going through the system depending on what's happened so far in your day. I'm just going to ask you to notice them, but not engage. Don't get caught up in the story that thinking is forever trying to create. Just notice it, but keep your attention aloof from it. course, when you're not engaging with thinking, that means you are free of the past, which is nothing but thoughts. You're free of the future, which is also nothing but thoughts. And when your attention is just feeling, you're simply present. Everything you experience is simply a flow, a stream of energy or vibration passing in front of your attention, which is simply right now. And then just notice something very simple, very direct, that there's thought, there's emotion, there's sensation. That is the sum total of all you ever experience, some combination of those. But there's something aware of it. There's something looking at thoughts. There's something experiencing emotion. There's something conscious of the sensations. And then notice that while the sensations and thoughts and emotions are constantly moving, that this simple awareness isn't. It's absolutely still. Now, where are you here? Are you the thoughts and emotions and sensations that are running? Or are you over here on this side of the lens, aware of them? Now, those thoughts and emotions and sensations, they're all our conditioning. The pattern they happen to take is the pattern that goes back to our childhoods, their lives, karma, all of that. But that's what you're experiencing. It's not what you are. There's many names for this awareness. The I am, the self, presence, God, Shiva being, Buddha nature. But the street name is simply me. This is what Ramana Maharshi would say is the you without you. He would say the I removes the I and yet remains the I. This simple insight is the heart and soul of Advaita Vedanta, also of Zen. Which are two different costumes that the same essential truth wears. It is a simple realization that I am completely beyond anything that can be known, described, conceptualized, or perceived. I just am. Now I'm going to just invite you to come back now, but before I do, I just want you to notice that as you're coming back into the room, that you're not actually going anywhere. All we're doing is turning attention around once again, away from ourselves, and once again allowing it to take in the experience you're having, thoughts and sensations and sounds and the entire environment that's in the room. And as you open your eyes, just notice that you haven't gone anywhere. And that no matter what attention is taking in, however subtle or silent or utter chaos, it's always reporting to the same place, where you are. Everything reports to this you that is beyond all knowledge. And just take another deep breath and move your body a little bit. And welcome back to the place you never left. This practice of non-duality, which is what Advaita means, it's simply not two. It is the Sanskrit word for not two. It's extremely simple. Matter of fact, it's as simple as you can get. There's no practice, there's no process, there's no philosophy, there's no teaching. You simply look. Just look. Just keep looking past everything that isn't me, and what's left must be you. So thank you all again for listening to me. Thank you for inviting me, and namaste to you all.